On today's episode, Dad fat shames himself.
Great. Possibly a reason for this. I don't know. Did Dad just fat shame himself?
He displays a mastery of the English language.
Should probably have washed your hands before you done it too. Done it? Ooh. Dad don't English well.
And that's it. He's finally lost it.
Who got this? Dad got this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad Got This. What are we cooking today? Today, we're cooking a simple meat sauce. Just your basic meat sauce that you can use for spaghetti. Dad's gonna use it for lasagna in my next video. It's as basic cooking as it gets. You got canned tomatoes, spices, a little bit of meat, simmer and saute in a pan, and you're done. It is clean tasting. Clean tasting? Nah, that doesn't make sense. Dad's half Italian, so I grew up eating Italian food all the time. I'm the only kid who came home from school to a snack of chicken parmesan. That was my after school snack from my nana. Great. Possibly a reason for this. I don't know. Did Dad just fat shame himself? I think I did. Never trust a skinny chef. At least I don't. To make a basic meat sauce, the most important thing, I've used it in every other Italian type tomato dish I use, San Marzano tomatoes. In my opinion, the only tomatoes you should use are these San Marzano tomatoes. Even growing your own tomatoes and steaming them and pulling the skins off, I don't think you get the same flavor as you get from these Italian San Marzanos. There's just something about where they grow them and how they grow them that they just taste better. It's so much that there's like certified on the can, and people make knockoff tomatoes. How crazy is that? Knockoff tomatoes. Right next to your fake Louis bag is a can of these. Really? Let's just get into it. Let's get cooking. Real simple. First, we gotta, Dad's a magician. We gotta do my magic. Let's use a magic word this time. Let's use Shazam! Barely any prep on this dish. It's an onion. We're gonna dice it. We gotta chop up some garlic and get our tomatoes out of the can. That's really it for prep. While I'm getting ready to chop up this onion, let me tell you to go ahead and click the little button down in the corner there or somewhere or on your computer, wherever it may show up. There should be something that's gonna let you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe so you get all my new videos as a notification. Make sure you also hit the bell. That's gonna make sure that when I post something, it's gonna pop up and let you know, hey, Dad just posted a new video. That way you don't miss anything. Dad likes to call that joining the DGT Alliance. That's what I call you guys, people who watch me. You're my DGT Alliance. And we are just gonna go ahead and dice these up a little bit. If you're unaware of a dicing technique, I go like that. I cut little slits. I cut here, and then I go there. And you should be able to get a pretty nice little dice. You don't need a lot of onion in this. It's just for a little bit of flavor. You can even, if you're not an onion person, omit the onion. We'll do that again. You do little 1/4 inch slices straight down, just like that. And then you go across them. And now you can get nice little diced onions. Chop up any chunks that may be long from the end, and you're good to go. Boom, diced onions. Oh my God, I'm shooting onion everywhere. Wouldn't be an Italian dish in Dad's opinion if you didn't have garlic. Lots of garlic. So I like to go ahead and take my garlic and I pound it. That'll let me pull the skin off it. I don't like these little ends, so I'll chop those off. And I try to do the same technique on here, but since it's small, it's a little tough. All right, and we'll do one of those speedy things where I go, and things are done, like this. Done. You can totally get away with using the minced garlic in the little jars. I just had some fresh garlic that I needed to get rid of that was getting a little long in the tooth. So, time to make some sauce. That's all our chopping, so I can get rid of this. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. Now that we're a little cleaned up, it's time to go ahead and get to the tomatoes. I like to make a lot, so I use 2 cans worth. I make extra sauce and then I freeze them flat in Ziploc bags so that I have it when I need it. You can make as much of this as you want. It's really simple. I'll show you the final yield with the 2 cans, and then you can decide if you want half the recipe or not. But can of tomatoes. And these come in like a little sauce. You want to make sure you get as much of that out of the jar or can as you can. And this is Dad's #1 tip. You got to crush these. And the only way to do it really is to crush them by hand. If you mash them or whatever, there's a problem. So I'm gonna make a mess, but we'll see. If you take this in your hand and you squeeze it, see that? It just explodes all over the place. You're gonna make a gigantic mess. But if you take it and you hold it here and you pop it underneath the sauce and squeeze, no mess. Your hand gets really dirty, but you don't have explodey tomato all over your house. So get your hand in there, submerge it, and squeeze. And you just want to break these up so that there's no more large, full tomatoes. And you just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Almost could be a song. I'm not gonna do that, but could be. Don't think anyone would listen to it, but Squoze and Squeeze by Dad Got This. And once you kind of get that consistency, you're done. Wash your hands. Should probably have washed your hands before you done it too. Done it? Ooh, Dad don't English well. You probably should have washed your hands before you did it. Also, just top tip there, cleanliness, very important when cooking. All right, we've got our basics of our meat sauce ready to go. The only thing we're really missing is the meat. Let's go grab it. I'll get that later. So what we have here is a certain amount of pounds. What we have here is about 2.5 pounds of, they sell it at Walmart, ground beef and pork blend. Dad likes pork in his meat sauce. I use it in my meatballs. I use it in my meatloaf. Having the beef and pork blend just makes everything so much more flavorful, so much more juicy. If you don't like pork, guess what? Kill the pork, do all ground beef, but make sure you use 80-20. You wanna have some fat level. Even though we're gonna drain the grease, that fat level, we'll be able to keep some of it and it's gonna taste so much better. So now that we've got that, we've got tomatoes, we've got onion and garlic, we need something to cook it on. Now we're loaded up. My favorite new little gadget, my induction cooktop. You cook it on your stove. I do this because I can then cook over here. This is real easy. Take our pot, That's not even a pot. Take a deep-sided saute pan, whatever you have, as long as it's got some sides to be able to hold your sauce. We're gonna go ahead and turn this sucker on to about a medium-high heat. And a little bit of olive oil. And Dad likes to start his garlic and onion in the pan cold. For me, it gives me more control over how it cooks. If I start it in a hot pan, sometimes it'll cook way too fast on me and it doesn't give me any time to do everything else I need to do. So I've said it before in my videos, I was taught by my Italian grandma, and most of her stuff was splash, dash, sprinkle, pinch, about that much for her recipes. So it's, you know, it's a change for me to be able to have to use all these precise measurements for stuff. But I do it for you guys, so you guys can try and follow these recipes. It's hard to write a recipe. I should write one out one day just for fun with exactly how she wrote stuff. So just keep moving this stuff around until you start getting a little bit of translucent on the onion, and you want the garlic to maybe just start a tiny bit browning. If you see the garlic browning and starting to go past brown, just start adding your other stuff. Don't worry about the onions getting too more translucent. It's fine. They're really just in there for flavor. And we've got our meat ready on the side. Is there anything else? I am missing one other ingredient. We can see here that we're starting to get a little bit of browning here on our garlic. So this is the point where we got to really watch this. Garlic past brown that gets burnt is bad. I'm gonna lower this a little bit. And this is starting to smell. You start getting that fragrance of the onions and the garlic, and that's how you know it's starting to get there. Once you start getting that aromatics going on. I told a story about my grandfather and my grandmother in my last video for my grandfather's Italian Dickie D hot dog recipe. I'll throw that link up somewhere. But I love those two people, man. Like I said, my grandma taught me how to cook, and my grandfather, he was my buddy. And he had it rough with my grandmother. She was something. I did also. In an Italian family, or at least in my Italian family, we had a wooden spoon. It wasn't for cooking. If that came out, I was getting chased by like a 4-foot Italian lady through the house, jumping over sofas. She was spry for a little lady. So this is just about ready. We've got some browning garlic going on. So now it's time to start adding in the meat of the meat sauce. Like I said, this is about 2 pounds. This is a lot of meat. Actually, looking at my pan, I'm gonna do 1 pound of meat. Dad's pulling an audible. I don't think this was all gonna fit in the pan. I have like this really giant pan that I cook a lot of my stuff in. You would think there's a lot more than 3 people in this house. It's just the way my family cook, man. We cook for an army. 1 person, 3 person, 3 pieces. Yeah. 1 person, 3 people, 10 people, 100 people. We cook a lot of food. I don't know, it's a problem. We're gonna splash a little bit extra olive oil in there. And we're gonna start letting this mix with the onion and garlic. That'll keep that stuff from burning. And at this point, we're gonna start adding some seasonings. We have garlic powder. About a tablespoon of garlic powder. You'll notice Dad is not shy with seasonings, man. I season my food. I do not like bland food. About a tablespoon of onion powder. We got a teaspoon of basil, a teaspoon of parsley, and a teaspoon of oregano. Oregano, oh my God! I'm sorry, I didn't know how that got in there, but it's gone now. I have caught so much flack on the Italian Facebook groups for using oregano in my Italian sauce with meat Instant Pot recipe. You would think I put arsenic in the sauce. The reactions were that visceral. And apparently there's a strong hate for using oregano in anything other than pizza sauce. I don't know, we used oregano in our family. It was kind of a normal spice. I know a lot of other Southern Italians will use oregano in their sauces too. For the purists, it's over there somewhere now. You can go back to your safe space. I won't hurt you with my oregano in this recipe. And we are gonna brown this meat. And it's not actually looking too fatty, so we might not even have to drain this one. Fat is flavor, man. Last spice we're gonna go ahead and add. We're gonna start, because you can't take it away, with a teaspoon of salt. Once the tomatoes get in there and everything, we start mixing in, we'll go ahead and adjust our salt level even more and start adding in enough salt till it's right there. That's one thing that you will notice, an undersalted meat sauce or spaghetti sauce or any kind of tomato sauce, to me, you can immediately tell that it's undersalted and it just doesn't taste right. All right. We are almost there. On your spice shakers, right? I don't use them for anything. They either don't shake enough or they shake too much. I'm just either a shaking in my hand guy or I'll use my mixer. These things are useless. And you want this fully cooked, because the rest of the sauce is just a simmering and it's not really gonna be to cook the meat. You wanna cook this meat, which is just about done. Now at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add in our tomatoes. Carefully and only enough so that we have enough in the pan. That looks like we'll be able to fit it all, sorta. All right. Now I gotta be careful. This is right at the level where this is gonna boil over and be a problem. I need a 20% bigger pan. Dad's gonna go on Amazon today and I'm gonna find an induction ready pan that is about maybe a 12-inch. I think this is a 10-inch. I think I need a 12-inch for the way I cook. Okay, we're gonna mix all this in together. And we are gonna lower that heat down to a medium low, because we are just wanting to simmer this. This is gonna simmer for probably 10, 15 minutes, not a lot, just to let those tomatoes start to break down, the meat sauce or meat to start flavoring everything. And then the final step would be to go ahead and do your final seasoning. We might add a little more garlic powder, more salt. We're gonna add a pinch of sugar. Pinch, love it. Just a pinch of sugar. Ooh, I don't even, it's like a Transylvanian accent. Oh, it's terrible. So we're gonna add like, a couple other spices, get it right where we want it. And I lost, there it is. My spatula. And we're just gonna keep kind of stirring this. You wanna make sure you stir and don't let the bottom burn, because that can happen. Especially, it happens more on the longer boiling of the like traditional spaghetti and meatballs where you boil it for 4 or 5 hours. That one, you get burn on the bottom and you gotta be real careful because that will ruin your entire pot of sauce. So just make sure that every once in a while you're giving it a nice stir. And this pan is slightly too small for this. I probably need a 12-inch pan, which I'll go pick up on Amazon sometime here. And I'll check back with you in about 10 or 15 minutes. Quick update. See how fast that's simmering? Definitely make sure you stir it. And then we're gonna lower the heat even lower. We just want a bubbly simmer. We're not looking for a fast boil. Perfect. And I realized I should have been using a spoon rest this whole time. I wasn't using a spoon rest. That's a spoon rest that I got at the Disney Character Warehouse outlets. Dad also shops and shows you what's into the Character Warehouse. Woo. Dad also shops the Character Warehouse. Woo. Dad also shops the Disney Character Warehouse and shows you what's there here in Orlando. If you're planning a trip, or even if you're local and you just want to know what's there and what kind of great deals you can get on Disney stuff, Dad got this. This has been simmering for a little over 10 or 11 minutes. So we're gonna give it a taste and then adjust our seasoning. And do not burn your mouth doing this, which I almost do every time. So get a little bit of your tomato in there, get a little bit of something with some meat. Okay, that needs salt, and it does need the sugar. We're gonna start with a teaspoon of sugar. I know it seems weird to add sugar to a sauce, but tomato sauce is really acidic, and the sugar helps cut that acid. So we'll add that. Then I think we're gonna need at least a teaspoon of salt. I'm telling you, undersalted sauce tastes horrible to me. But adjust it to taste for you. You can also add some black pepper. I don't add the black pepper. Everybody other than me hates black pepper or hates anything even remotely spicy in this house. I cook for a 5-year-old and I cook for my wife, who anything I cook, she says is spicy. I could add literally nothing in it that has any kind of spice. It's spicy. We'll let that go a few more minutes to let all those spices mix in, and then we'll give it another taste. Until then, I'll stare at it and ask it if it's done. Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? How about now? How about now? All right, we'll check back later. I can't stay still. It's an issue. I sit at my chair and I go tap, 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 tap with my foot. Either I'll take a pencil and I'll tap, tap, tap it, tap it, tap it. And it's probably something wrong with me. I don't know. There's probably a medical condition about it. I'll look it up on the WebMD and it'll tell me I'm dying. That'll be great. Time for another taste. Fresh spoon. If you're cooking for other people, it's just a nice thing to do to use a clean spoon every time you taste. That way your germs aren't getting in their food. If you're cooking for just you, or even if it's just your family, like, you probably don't have to do that, but it's like a practice I like to do. So we'll go ahead and give this a little bit more of a stir. Aha! That is it. That is seasoned. For me, I've got the perfect salt level A little bit of garlic I taste in there. I taste the onion, which is basically gone. It's melted, but it just flavored the sauce nicely. And this is done. You can plate this up and serve it with spaghetti. You can serve it with, I don't know, you can make it like a chili mac almost. I don't know, serve it however you like. I am gonna take it and make my next video with it. I'm gonna make some lasagna. And make it in the Instant Pot. Never tried it in the Instant Pot before. Been new for me. So tune in for that video. And remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you get all of Dad's notifications and you know when I'm releasing all my new videos. Dad does all kinds of videos. I do recipes. I go to the parks and I show you things to do in the parks and different foods and rides and fun there. I go to the outlets, the Disney outlets here in Orlando, and I shop them and I show you, here's all the stuff that you can get at ridiculous discounts instead of spending a ton of money on your vacation. Dad does a bit of everything. So join the DGT Alliance and let's start fighting boring vlogs everywhere. Just because you're watching a cooking video doesn't mean it has to be boring. Let's have some fun. I don't know how I'm gonna plate this up for the photo. Maybe I'll just insert the lasagna in there. I don't know, we'll see. But Dad doesn't do outros. So that's it. Oh, you're still here. What are you doing here? Video's done. I already did the photo shoot of all the finished food and everything, and I'm just enjoying my spaghetti with meat sauce. I guess since you're here, I'll just tell you about it. It is perfect. It has the perfect balance of acidity to sweetness. The tomatoes are fantastic. San Marzano for the win. Hashtag San Marzano for the win. You top it with a little bit of grated cheese and it is a meal. Just like this, just with spaghetti. And I do the twirl. I had to cut these noodles in half because the pot I used was a little small. Normally I can twirl it better. So good. Perfect for any day. Cold day, hot day, day in hell. Doesn't matter. I would eat this. That's it. Dad doesn't do outros. So that's it.
For more recipes and videos, visit dadgotthis.com. To be sure you don't miss anything, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the damn bell. I double dog dare you. Come on, you have to do it. It was a double dog dare. I mean, those are the rules.